Okay, back to the lecture. So the next thing that they want you to do is to have everybody look at and read the PairMaker app and respond to the questions, and be ready to discuss this with other people in the classroom. Let's pull up the PairMaker app. All right, so here it is, the PairMaker app. So it says run this program, watch the code run, and carefully read each individual part of the program. Discuss these questions with a partner and be prepared to share answers with the class. Line 6, what does .join do? Why is it necessary for this app to run? Line 7, this line of code references an options property of a dropdown. Write a short description of what this line of code does. This should be in your digital journal, so you should write that information down there at this time so that you know what it is that you're looking at. All right, let's see. And if it's not there, write it down anyway. Make sure that you write these discussion questions down because that's part of this process. All right, so lines 18 through 19, this line of code references an index property of a dropdown. Go look at what that property does in design mode. Then describe how these lines of code work together to remove a user from the list of partners. Oh, wow, this is interesting. Line 24, why does this conditional read people list dot length greater than or equal to 2? Okay, what would break if it read people list dot length greater than or equal to 1 instead? Ooh. All right, line 26 through 27, what would happen if you switch the order of those two lines of code? All right. And then change the default names that are available when this app starts running. Update this app to pick groups of 3 rather than groups of 2. Very interesting. All right, so let's take a look at how this PairMaker works. Let's hit run. So we have you, me, and another person. So there's 3 people in this app, but this is a PairMaker. So if I click on you, all right, and then let's see here, assign you, new person. I wonder what it'll do if I just hit assign a random pair. So me and you, okay. And if I try to do it again, there's only one person left. So they won't be able to be paired, right? Add more people to make a pair. So that's good. That's good user feedback because it tells the user what to do. Hey, you need to add another person. So let's just type new person, just like it shows in the drop down. Add that person to the list. And then we can just say assign a random pair. It's not very random because there's only 2. And so it's only going to make those 2. So new person and another person. Yay. And then we have nothing in our drop down. Okay. So let's play around with this. So what do you guys think line 6? So here we have our people label, text, people list, join. What does .join do you think? What does it sound like it does? People label, people list, .join. Why don't we find out? Because we can do this in the debug console. In the console, we can find out what is people list right now. Probably won't respond because I'm not running. I don't have the, yeah, program's not running. See how it says not running? I need to run the program first. Okay, set property, people drop down options, people list. All right, so if I go people list, so here's our people list. We have our three people in our list. Look, it's got the indices. So where it says you, that's the first value with an index of 0. Me, that's the second value with an index of 1. Another person is with an index of 2. So let's add somebody to this list. We can just say new person, add. And look, here we have new person at the top of our list. We've updated the screen. All right, sweet. So if we assign a random pair, so another person and me. Cool. And then, of course, new person and you are going to get assigned if I do that. All right. So clearly it needs to have two people in this list, right? So if I just add Joe Schmo, I add him, right? It's going to happen. It's going to be up there. And he's in that drop down list, right? So what this is doing is taking whatever value we have in our people list. Actually, we can check on that again, right? People list. All we've got is Joe Schmo. Right before we had like you, me, another person. I added a fourth person. I forgot to put the people, check the people list. But I think probably if you go back in the history on here, that'll have it or it'll show it. So Joe Schmo, and let's say I don't know, Danny Lilly. Danny Lilly. Add. So this, hey, look at that, right? It inserts the item into the people list, puts them at the very front. That's interesting. Rather than at the end or in the middle. If I say Joseph, I don't know, Croc. Yeah, let's do that. Add. So now we have three people in our list. Right, you can see here Joseph Croc, Danny Lilly, and Joe Schmo. We haven't ever really answered what dot join does. People drop down, options, people list. Let's take a look at that in the design, like they suggested. Design. Here's our drop down. Options, index, -1. Very interesting. You tell me what you think. All right. I did say to go into design for a specific reason. What was it? There was go look at what that property does. The references, line of code references an index property of a dropdown. Go look at what that property does in design mode. Index -1. Doesn't really say what it does in design mode. What do you think it does? Maybe. Yes, I have an idea. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much that. Let's go look at this in code. What would we have to do to make sure that it randomly assigned groups of 3 rather than groups of 2? So you, me, another person, on event person, random index 2, random number people list at length, random index 2. And random assign button. There we are. If people list at length is greater than or equal to 2, then we can do stuff. Else set property, this is where it says, hey, add more people to make a pair. I think we could just say less than or equal to 3. And then random index 2, random person 2. We just have to do another one of these guys for 3 to modify it to take 3, right? Copy these guys. Pull V. Move that over. Tab. I know it's like, oh no, you're doing this again. No, I'm not. I'm changing it. 3. Oops, not 4. 3. And 3. And Then we want to do random index 3 and random index 3. Okay. And random person 2. And we'll just grab this again. Copy that. So now instead of random person 2, we want to do random person 3. Do we have a variable for random person 3? We do, actually, and we're setting it in this function. Okay. And then index random person. All right. Let's try it. Run. This should say assign a random threesome. Ha. Trio. Trio is probably a better word. All right, so let's assign a random trio. Another person and me and you. There we are. So that does it for the threes. We can change that button at some point, but no matter. We've done it. So take a look at this code, play around with it a little bit, break it. You can always start over. So see this version history, you can click on that and you can say start over. And then it'll just totally start you from scratch, right? But we don't want to do that right now. So let's go ahead and hit cancel and exit out. We're going to hit run. We're going to hit finish. We are done.